I love
Intro.
Really?
Ah, Potsy Hour.
So, welcome everybody. This is a post Canberra SS video from some of the team from Australian WTC.
Please elaborate what SS is.
European teams watching this.
Yes.
The other
We had our
Canberra
Canberra
Super
SS.
Series.
Super Series qualifiers. It's like the Australian version of the War Machine Weekend Masters. And won and run. I think all of us, except for Jeff, ran our WTC lists.
And all of us, except for Jeff,
Did really well.
I'm Jeff.
Unfortunately, sorry, I should go introduce. We've got Chris, handsome gentleman on the end there.
I have me
Asian Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Jeff in the middle. He's sitting down. This is Horse. Obviously, you know Horse. I'm Potsy. This is Ev. And off camera, we've got Tracy, who's just going to put his head in now. That's Tracy's hand.
There he is.
Now Chris has been cut out. That's good. That's probably
Back me, yeah. Bring it back, you had half a crease, man. You can't have half a crease. He's a good
You
looking
can have
bloke.
the part of it.
It's okay. If I'm off camera, I'll just be loud, so it's fine.
So anyway, we thought we'd do this video. We took most of our WTC lists to the event, and we thought we'd just very, very, very briefly, Chris, go through how we went.
I was
over the
just going to
weekend.
go through what's on this ROM, but okay, sure.
Chris, how'd you go?
I came third. I, of course... Okay, so I play Kador, or however you want to pronounce it, and, so, I have a new concept. It's a great concept, you like it. Instead of...
Jeff, how'd you go?
Fuck off. I came third, whatever. Fuck you guys.
Come on.
What list did you take?
So,
Who'd you play? What'd you take?
I played Epic Sorcerer and Epic Arusk, which is not a common pairing because, you know, I didn't say Butcher 3. Specifically, I'm playing Epic Arusk with a Pike Wall. Effectively, 2 units of pikemen backed up with, you know, the, well, I should say, War Machine's pay to win. Premier model, Alexia. And then a bunch of good stuff. I'll go through the list later, whatever. And then the other one is an Epic Sorcerer list with Behemoth, the full Winter Guard Death Star, and 2 units of Press Gangers. And
Who'd you get first round, Chris?
I got a Crix player playing P-Scar. Played him with Sorcerer. He didn't feat defensively, so 2 Bombards boosted and 2 Great Bears and no more Kraken.
What about second round?
Second round was some annoying troll player. No, I don't know who he is. He's like I can't see him. Like
Unfortunately, Chris got Tracy
Yeah,
second
that's
round.
right, I got
Tracy is
Tracy.
the other member of the team whose hand you saw earlier.
Yep.
And Tracy ended up winning the event. So Chris's only loss was to Tracy.
That's right. What happened was. Please. So what happened was process of elimination. I was 3 control points to 0, but Tracy was smashing me with attrition, so I had to kill Morg. I didn't kill Morg.
Didn't kill Wild.
Gotta kill more.
Sad times.
Sad times. Round 3, we actually played the guy from Team On, UN, Dylan, who I was playing against his Assyria list with, again, Sorcerer, so apparently there's a trend here. God, that was a crazy game. I ended up winning 6 control points to 5. And, oh god, I can't really say for more. Apart from the
Fair
fact
enough.
that...
And what about the last round?
So, it turns out that, you know, I have a slight problem with ending games late, and this game ended with, like, what, how much minutes was on the
I
clock?
think you had a minute.
I think I used my third
and
oxygen tank,
Your
so-
troll, your
Yeah,
troll
that's right.
player.
40 seconds.
Troll
you're-
Yeah,
opponent.
it was an endeavor. It was like Odysseus. I had to play against Pigrim with Epic Erusk and, like,
Massive audience. It was very...
Lots
It
of-
was- it was-
the last game to finish.
last game to finish.
Very exciting.
Finishing for a podium, you could tell. It was-
Yeah.
Fuck, it was like 2 hours of a game. It was ridiculous.
So Chris got one of the tickets
Yep.
for the Super Series final
Yep.
in Sydney in December.
Yes.
Happy
Should be
about
awesome.
Jeff, how'd you go?
So, I was going to take Assyria and Evarus overseas, and I thought I'd make it tougher against Crix and take Ossian instead of Evarus, and assume in the team I wouldn't have to play probably Legion and Trolls and Elilith. And the first round I got Elilith, which I actually won against Russ, and then it was all downhill. Then I got Scorn, another one which would have been great to have Evarus, and I should have killed Hexia. That was a massive dice fail, but still. Got
You
beat.
boosted 8s.
Boosted ace.
3d6 to get the 8 and knock down and then win the
And
game.
then I
Followed
got
up by a boosted 9.
boosted 9,
Yep.
which I failed as well.
So odds of failing both those like 15 and then 25%.
Yes.
That's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that's the second game. Then the third game, again, I played a troll brick list, which Varus would have been better against. So I'm dropping Assyria every time because Ossian wasn't tooled up for it. So I lost. And then the last round I played Evan from the team. And it was Assyria versus, so I didn't use Ossian once, basically.
So the whole point of this weekend, you were trying to actually stress test that Ossian list.
And it proved that I have too many weaknesses without Virus as the other list. So,
But
test successful.
Is that something you can mitigate with the WTC format?
Not that many factions. No. There's too many. Because it was, when I saw it, when I had, Legion comes up with Lilith, geez, I wish I had Virus. And then I suddenly get scorned. God, Virus would have been so good here. And then I got a troll brick. Yep, Virus again.
Yeah.
And that's,
Well,
yeah. So I can't have that many bad pairings. So Virus would at least give me a good shot.
Should also quickly mention no divide and conquer for this tournament. So
I used Assyria for 4 games, so I unpacked Ossian and didn't use him once. So he's back in the box. And I finished 4th last.
that's a shame you didn't use him, but at least you got to test what holds not having virus present.
Yeah, and it was
That's
huge.
the main thing.
As soon as Russ picked it up straight away, first round, you haven't got Virus. I knew straight away, God, he's taken the off. Oh my God. And his first feat, he killed,
Murphy's Law.
he killed 3/4 of a list, but yeah. I got him by cheating too.
Excellent. Well done, Jim. Except for
Australian
the
way.
cheating.
Except for the bit
ladies and
one.
gentlemen, our captain.
Please read the scenario packs for in the future.
It's
Yeah, and don't yell at
Don't yell at the judge.
at the judge when he corrects you.
We're just joking though, he didn't yell at the judge.
Well,
Yeah, it probably deserves.
He did set some death
yeah,
threats,
I'm
but
all
it's fine.
saying
It's fine.
subjective, otherwise yelling or
It's
just
very
chatting.
passionate people.
Yeah.
James, how'd you do?
Good looking bloke.
Did you win?
I went undefeated, but I did not win.
Didn't win. Is this your first second that you've got?
Been bridesmaid a couple of times.
Alright, that's good.
Okay.
I took my E. Kruger list, exactly the same as Lock and Load and E. Morvana, which
Did
is...
you win Lock and Load?
Actually, that's the one I won. The E. Morvana list with 4 units, it's actually not really
Did you use it?
similar to anything. Yeah, I used it in one of 4 rounds.
Oh,
Round
man,
one,
such a weak caster, more weighing down your Kruger list.
holding it back. Round 1, I played Andrew Hayden who he had P. Hexeris and P. Morgul, and P. Hexeris actually sort of weaned me out of playing E. Morvana, so played E. Kruger for that one. That was good. Round 2, I played Butcher 3, and the Butcher 3 player played very well and gave me no chance to win on scenario, no chance to win on attrition, so I killed Butcher. Round 3, I played a combination of either Xerxes, not Fist of Halak, just a sort of regular Xerxes list, or E. Hexeris, and I wanted to try Morv, so I tried that out, and it was a good game until he Morv feated, and then it was very tight until he Morv feated, and then that was he Morv's feat, which is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But that went really well, and then round 4, I played Bart Galleon, which I actually didn't have a good answer to kill the actual Galleon, so my whole plan involved going around the Galleon, which E. Kruger excels at. He can mitigate the Galleon's effectiveness with Stormwall and the feat, but he can't actually, once it's in your face, can't actually deal with it. And on close quarters, pretty hard scenario to win against Bart Galleon, so managed to give Bart a reach around.
How long did that game take?
That was 3 turns.
Right.
Yeah, before we started our game.
2 rounds.
Pretty much. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we're still deploying.
No, he actually did it almost perfectly. He had Bart behind the Galleon, weapon locked by a Nomad, but when you go first with Kruger and you get so far up the board, it's
Not close enough.
handy.
Was he base to base at the going?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just not enough. Not enough crap in the way either. So, that was that.
So I had a similar experience to Jeff. We've designed our WTC lists for a team environment when you will have the advantage of perhaps greater chances to play certain factions than others. One faction that I always have a lot of success against is Crix. I decided to move my list away from Crix-centric lists. I was going to bring Mordecai down this weekend, which is one of my Crix lists, but decided against it.
Potsy's playing, of course, the next faction in the
That
game.
worked out for me. So first round I played against Mercs. It was a Durgan list, which is good because I get to play a lot of Durgan lists. And I was able to one round the Earthbreaker on top of turn 2.
Before he even shot.
Before he'd even
Wow,
shot. So,
really?
Yeah, he
Poor guy. That's so
he
flat.
redlined and ran up first turn and did three damage to himself. and then then I got Moloch into him
On his own.
on his own. It was actually really good because I puppet mastered him, and on the very last attack, he rolled a 6 and a 1 and a 1, and I hadn't used the puppet master yet.
Double ones.
I re-rolled the double 1, and I got double 6. And I killed him to the box.
So what? He's that's minus 5.
Yeah, that's
Strong plays, man.
Poor
Yeah,
didn't even
poor-
get the shooting.
Poor guy. It was
Even though
pretty
3
bad.
weeks he did it himself, beat him
Yeah, I
up.
still had the Raider and the Drake to activate yet, so I still had opportunities to actually finish it off, but I didn't kill it. Plus, it was really unfortunate because it was one of those. It had like a river on the table, and it had one of those bridges with the walls.
Played on it.
So I managed to charge Moloch onto the bridge, and he was like at the foot of the bridge. So even if he'd actually attacked me back, he would have had to have fought over the wall. So I would have been death 15. So anyway, it worked out right after that. Turn 2, I played against Grix. It was Terminus and I don't know, some
Iskar?
other-
Iskar.
Iskar, whatever. I had to play my E-Hexy list again, and I was doing all
This
right.
is Drew, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Druminus.
You're going well.
I was doing all right. I killed about 22 Banes.
What did you do? Try to remember you did.
Yeah, it was process of elimination, and I may have accidentally fate walked out of the kill box. Because, process of elimination is not a real scenario anyway.
No, definitely.
So I walked out and kill boxed myself. And
For
it
two?
was, basically
And then
easy.
you killed the objective and
Yeah,
Oh,
all I had
so
to
far,
all I had
you
to do was
had
kill the
fleas
objective
so
with one
quickly.
model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GG.
That was great. Round 3, I played against Kador, and he had Old Witch and Evlad, and I felt that I had to drop E-Hexy again. My other list, I should say, is Xerxes Fist of Halak, but
It's such a weak list.
Fist.
I never ended up playing it. I don't know why I even bothered bringing it. Because he had
God,
Old Witch with Iron,
You were poor mana.
What the fuck, man?
Iron Fleshed Winterguard and a whole bunch of
Whatever
shit.
Incendiary I meant to do.
Yeah, they would have
Yeah.
killed them.
No, because I can't move them forward under Witch's feet.
Just fucking kill them.
Yeah, well, no, but then I'm stuck. Depends on the scenario. Anyway, I won anyway. So I just basically got a really strong alpha off against most of his stuff, killed it, and was able to hold out and got a reasonably comfortable scenario win. So that was third round. Fourth round, I played against Mercs again, and he had one list with Kayazi, and the other one was Ashland with Nis and Gun Mages and Rupert. So again, the high def spam. I thought I had to play
Fist of Life.
E-Hexerus.
It's because you call it Fists of Halak as opposed to like Fisted by Halak or something.
So I played E-Hex again. Got off a really good initial turn. Was able to kill a whole bunch of stuff. Alpha with the Raider and the Drake and some Ashes to Ashes, and managed to get a reasonably comfortable win off that one as well.
Didn't use fist once.
Did not use Fist once for the entire weekend. It's a very overrated
Can we come back to that in a minute?
faction.
Yep.
You not using Fist, me not wanting to use Morvana.
Yeah.
Ev,
So I took Mercenaries.
Me
I
got them borrowed.
switched to Mercenaries a few weeks ago in preparation for Europe. Originally I was taking Kador, but we thought perhaps Mercs might offer the team a bit more balance than having two Kador lists. So I took Durgan and Gorton with an Earthbreaker in both lists. So my first round I was playing Dan's Trolls, he had Runes of War. It was an active scenario. What is it? Fire support.
first round.
First round.
One where you can dominate
Two
a zone.
rectangles.
Yeah, you can dominate a zone for two and
two
kill an
fronts. Two
objective for
fronts.
three.
That's what it was.
Two fronts.
Yeah.
So, bottom of the
Priority.
second, Gorton feats, pushes his whole army out of the zone. Earthbreaker kills an objective. His turn, Mold runs 2 inches back towards the zone. Doesn't make it.
Speed 1 Mold. Woo!
He runs a Mauler from one side of the board to the other to just toe the zone. And the start of my next turn, the Gun Mages push it 1 inch out. And that's the game.
Runes of War. Doesn't he have walls up to 20 inches which can be in the zone? Or
Yes, and he was
behind his models?
he was hiding behind those walls. Because otherwise I would have pulled him all in and killed him. Basically, if he sandwiches Mold between walls, it's safe. Otherwise, I'll either pull it in and kill him, or push it back and win on scenario.
So if he's choice.
Theoretically. That's assuming they're a terrible player,
Sounds
of
like an
course.
game you just played.
Yeah, basically,
Well, you're gonna kill him
Gordon
or
has
push it back
auto
and
win
kill
scenarios, much like Denny does. if you get the feed off and push everything back, they can't get orders, so no running and charging, and they're at -3 speed.
Yeah.
So
Kruger's feed is a 3-inch push and -2 speed. Yours is an 8-inch push and -3 speed.
yep, and
Just a
and
much
can't-
smaller
and can't
control area.
They can't
10.
run.
Actually, it gets even worse. Kruger's is only -2 movement.
No speed.
yeah,
Realistic?
mine's actually -3 speed, rat, and defense.
Yeah.
So if you pull it in,
It's just that it's a
The
dwarf
-3
caster,
defense.
but
Yeah.
even more insane.
yeah. So there's the second game. I took Durgan. I take Durgan for the rest of the tournament. I was playing
Spoiler alert.
Crix. This is my second game against Crix. Given I'm supposed to be a Crix drop, it was good to get the practice. He didn't feat defensively with his P-Scar, so I had a massive shooting turn where I killed 9 Banes, including the officer in standard,
Yeah, I saw that.
about 7 mechanic thralls,
Yeah.
and a Bane Rider.
Actually, you played the guy I played in round 1.
Yeah, Marty.
He had like
Marty's
8
Chris
models
Army.
left
Yeah.
before he even defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
in his turn, though, he comes back pretty well. I mean, it is Crix. So he still kills a bunch of my stuff. And at the start of my third, I had... The caster was about 16 inches away from the Earthbreaker,
You're playing
which is the
against Crochet
assassination.
3?
No, this was P-Scar.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So I could have just attritioned. Earthbreaker charges the Kraken, and I just try and kill the few models he has left. The caster was about 16 inches away from the Earthbreaker. Guaranteed assassination if she's in, but I think she's just out. Or all I need to do is kill 2 Cav at armor 23, and I win on scenario. So I had 3 ways to do, but I only had 10 minutes left, so whichever way I picked, if it didn't come off, that was it. So I went for the scenario, and just did it. Managed to get the win there. Game 3 I played Tracy, the other member of our Australian team,
He's a
who
sneaker.
went on to win. And basically I timed myself out. Tracy had 38 minutes left on his clock, and I went second.
So it's equal turns.
Yep. Having said that, Tracy's
No,
a fast player with a
pretty
small army,
He's fast.
and I'm playing a massive army that I'm very unfamiliar with. But my armies are great attritionally if I manage to play it a little bit faster.
A little bit. 38 minutes.
A little bit faster, 38 minutes faster.
It's just also a thing Tracy does. Like,
Yeah.
I was down to 1 minute 10 my game.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
So I was quite happy with the performance. I mean, it's still only about somewhere between my 15th to 20th game with Mercs. And I was quite happy with it. It went toe-to-toe with a P. Gristle attrition monster and was going quite well. But time-wise was just ridiculous. I only got 3 or 4 turns. And lastly, I played Jeff G's Retribution, as we discussed. Time-wise was a bit better. Jeff, with his Discordia stopping me from doing blast damage, it meant I didn't have to do shooting, which means I didn't time myself out. That was
A rookie
I helped
mistake.
you.
a mistake from Jeff. He shouldn't have put that up. I would have timed myself out if I'd had to do all that shooting and shit.
Hello.
But basically, because of the scenario, I either had a shot with my Earthbreaker on his caster, or if he moves his Hyperion in front to screen it, I get a charge on the Hyperion.
Because I had to move out with the kill box.
I had to because of Killbox. So basically, it was always going to be a win for me. I went to second, and that was very, very important. Because that meant that Jeff either had to move into the kill box, and if he wanted to screen it, that meant he had to walk into my charge range. So he put a lot of stuff in the way to block it, but it's Durgan. His specialty is killing 1 wound infantry that's in the way. So I managed to get the win there, went 3-1, just losing to Tracy, so I was quite happy with that.
Ev, you've got 2 Earthbreakers, and you've obviously only got Dougal in one list.
No, it's
Dougal and
Sorry,
Thor.
Thor and Dougal.
Yeah.
Does that hurt?
That's an interesting question, James. So basically, can I even give this shit away on this video?
Yeah.
Basically, you've got an all-rounder list with Durgan that has Thor and Dougal. I love the army. It's good at attrition, it's good at assassination, and it can clear so many models. It's also got a decent scenario shot sometimes. And that's the all-rounder I'll end up using most of the time. So the question then is, if that list does so well, what do I do with the other list? Because it can't have Thor or Dougal or anything.
Thor
That's
is
why.
just unbelievable.
Thor is awesome. If he wasn't a character, Mercs would be
Of course.
almost as good as Crix. So,
Whoa,
anyway,
whoa,
Stop
whoa.
words there. Let's not say things we can't take back.
Yeah, it's true.
as it is, so the Gorton list is hyper optimized for scenario.
Yeah,
So, because again, theoretically, you don't need the damage on the Earthbreaker, but it's always great. But you can still win on scenario. And the Earthbreaker's there. The Earthbreaker's almost a distraction in the Gorton list. I mean, it's always good.
You have to drop it, but it's not necessary for the list to work.
Yeah, it is this sort of thing where the Gorton army, almost every model is extraneous. It almost always comes down to just Gorton. Like he'll either pull you in or pull you out on turn 3.
But does Gorton's feat replicate boosted hit?
That's what I was going to say, and he's got strength
three defense.
+4 strength as well. He's got ways to sort of mitigate.
I
it
actually
without-
have Lannister in that army as well. So theoretically, you could pull someone to give a -3 defense, which makes the Earthbreaker effectively Mat 9. He can be effective power 26 with Ragnar and Strength of Gorton, and he'll be charging for free
Strength of Gorton.
at 11 inches
Strength of
away,
Warden, yes.
including
including
the
Lannister.
small 10-inch control limits how much you can pull in, but it's a pseudo 8-inch threat extension on some
Yeah.
things.
So if everything went
You can still
perfectly,
charge and
you've got a
Yeah.
19-inch threat range, doing Mat 9, power 26, 5 attacks. If everything went perfectly, which
So
is
like it's obvious
crazy.
it's obvious that you can say if I had thought it would be better, but when you get up to Mat 9 power 26, it gets to the point where you don't even need it.
Yeah, so basically the point is...
So it's more of a melee list than a shooting list in some ways.
Yes, but having said that, it really wants to win on scenario.
Scenario.
At the,
Yeah. Is
One, two,
Earthbreaker
three.
the only jack?
yes.
Just
Yeah.
the whole throw and forward thing to extend his threat. Good
Pretty
solid
much.
It's
range.
the I'm a distraction Earthbreaker.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's Merc Jacks.
Oh, yeah, is that like the Crix players who say that Statixis Raiders are a distraction? You're like,
Yes.
you attacked my Statixis Raiders, you've fallen for my
Oh no.
trap. No, well, you do
Well,
have to kill a Statixis Raiders.
Every one of them.
And you do
Every
have to
one
kill
of
the
them.
Earthbreaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, it's always good, but typically all it does is shoot the objective. Gorton will... I usually only use that list in ones where you can dominate for 2 and kill an objective for 3 in a single turn. So in that turn, I can clear a zone with Gorton and get the 2 and kill the objective for 3. And then next turn, hopefully they can't recontest that zone very well, and then you finish it off with a
And if they do, there's an Earthbreaker there.
And in that list, all the Earthbreaker's job is to kill the objective, and if he walks up into charge range of their heavies when he does it, even though they're down 3-0 on control points and they're fucked in that side, they go, oh, I'm fucked, but at least I can charge the Earthbreaker. That's it. That's
A
like,
scenario monster.
So if you do
Similar principles to E. Kruger.
yeah, and if they kill the objective, yeah, whatever.
if you do minus
Kill
3
the
speed
Earthbreaker.
and drop a rough terrain rocket though,
Yeah.
it's gonna like Mulgan move what, half an inch?
Mulg is Pathfinder.
No, because they
No,
would
I'm always a Pathfinder.
He doesn't.
They've got
He
the
can get it.
they've got the accent.
But they put
So
rush.
2.5 inches.
He can
3 inches.
He'd go 2 inches.
A rushed
No, actually with rush
Mulg.
he gets Pathfinder. He
3
goes 4
inches.
inches. 4 inches.
Slow down.
Depends if it's damaged or not.
No, he goes down to
You can
1
cut it
inch.
down.
yeah. So it's 3 inches.
Can you run?
Rush.
No, he runs for 2.
Oh, you're running. I'm talking about actually attacking.
Whoa,
If
slow down,
Mulg's
happening.
running like 4
There's
inches,
literally
then what the
nothing to attack. I've just pushed him back 8 for fuck's sake.
They can be
He's
three.
3
fuck? If you pull it forward,
So to anyone who's
And then just
listening to
picking
this,
up
we
with
have
the
this great
Earthbreaker
machine.
and
It's just called Theory Machine. For one, like the rules of Theory Machine is simple. E Denny always wins, unless E Kruger's on the table. Then E Kruger always wins. Like literally, you can't beat E Kruger at Theory Machine. And second is Potsy always loses at Theory Machine, right?
did you lose a theory?
No, I won at Theory Machine. Remember?
Oh, that's because I wasn't playing Xerxes.
That's right. Yes.
Giving the word theoretically playing sixes.
Can we talk about one other thing?
Yep.
So this is mainly probably for Potsy and myself, but it probably applies to everyone as well. You didn't have Virus today, so
I didn't use him.
probably because you didn't have him. So Fist of Halak has risen in prominence to one of the lists to have an answer for. I think Emorvana is definitely up there now.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm finding, as opposed to when those lists just came out, I was happy to drop them, 75% of the time.
Yeah.
Now I find myself dropping them 25% of the time or less because people have answers and that's the meta cycle.
Yeah.
But do you think that warrants changing lists or thinking outside the box at all? Or
See, I
have you
don't blame fists for changing the meta. I blame trolls for changing the meta.
Yeah,
Waters.
Because there'd be
Yeah.
3 or 4 more trolls in any tournament than Scorn, easily.
people are
And
countering.
every troll player plays Waters. So if you're taking a list that can answer waters, you can take. You've got a list that can answer.
So that's Virus caught in that as well, because the Griffins get hammered as well.
It's catching
so I don't
lists
think-
in
I
the
don't think it is.
crossfire.
It is, because they've developed. Virus is heavy armoured Griffins, right? And they got guys that can drop waters, they can drop Griffins.
Not necessarily. Anything that affects living models doesn't do it.
Yeah.
For example, I'll charge my pirates into waters,
Yeah, slot.
doing
Yeah.
a
Tag and
13
bag.
plus 4 dice damage. Put
And
the
that
same-
catches both these two.
Yeah, but it
Crossfire.
won't hurt it,
It's
won't hurt
it's
it.
these lists like Fist that are the extreme of 300 hit points and lots of armor, or Virus, which is like 300 hit points in the form of 10 jacks.
Yeah.
And all these lists get caught in the crossfire of if you've got armor, if you can crack those lists, you can crack anything else that's sort of lower than that on the scale.
But see, I think you can change your Immovana list. You're taking Skinwalkers and Ravagers, medium base.
Yep.
And the meta in Australia is dead set against medium based infantry.
And
how would
that's
that-
what I've
You can
changed
play
it.
other Morvana lists though.
Well, that's what I've changed. I've got Blood Trackers and Blood Weavers now, which are armor 11 infantry.
Yeah.
But their output is trying to beat people in the meta cycle, get ahead of it a bit.
Yeah.
So as you three say, Virus is a good answer. You've got
Sorcerer.
E-Sorcerer and
I made
Battle
a
Lust
so-
Caster.
I made a sorceress to beat your Morvana list.
And exactly, and you've got E.
Dude.
You've got Durgan, and you've also got Gordon, who's got the output as well. Do you find that as guys who are playing against these kind of lists, if that affects that at all, or if that warrants part of what? Like, obviously, it's something you think about when you're designing your lists, but do you find that because you've got those lists, you're seeing a lot less of them because your opponent says, I can't drop Immovana or Fist?
Yes. Like,
Cool. That's
honestly, yeah. Like, if you have a list that just has warning bells on it, people, unless they're forced into by circumstances, people don't run into minefields.
If they know the minefields are there.
Well,
But
that's
sometimes people are just like "Loo-doo-doo-doo-doo,"
Okay,
and
yes,
don't realise how effective like something like Fists can be. And I'm thinking they are dead set have to drop list A because
Yeah.
if they don't drop list A and I take Fists, they're absolutely
don't.
dead.
Yeah.
And they've just got no idea, so
Yeah.
they're like dropping list B
Yeah.
because they're going.
fuck it.
They're
So-
really hard people to play against.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to drop whatever they fucking want. You might as well just flip a fucking coin.
So that's the question: is list chicken on the rise?
It is on the rise because
If you've got
you
the,
take
you've got the
list
extreme
A,
list, the extreme list it is.
but not even the extreme list.
I wouldn't argue it's on the rise.
Fist of Luck is an
It's
extreme list.
always been the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the meta might change, so medium-based infantry is a bigger thing. But beforehand, it was just a different form of.
I remember when I
Yeah,
first
beforehand
started
it
the
was
game.
Flesh
Fist of
Chaos.
Luck is an extreme list. A Virus Griffin Span is an extreme list. It's got one method, basically.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I've been trying to mix it up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's list chicken because
Hey, Jeff, pass it
you
back.
basically design a list and you think, okay, that's my main list. What is it weak against? And you go X, Y, Z. You design list B to beat X, Y, Z. And of course, everybody else sees list A and they go, oh, I'm going to take list X, Y, Z. But bam, you're going to take, that is list chicken. I mean,
Yeah.
101.
I don't know if I was more naive or less experienced 2 years ago, but I felt like I could just take two whatever circle casters and have a chance and not care. Like list was maybe 10-20% of the game, and skill was 80. Feels like a lot more right now.
If they balance this, they can handle anything. But if you're not taking it, you're putting yourself in that position
Well,
of list
think of
chicken.
it this way. If skill is equal, what is your margin for advantage over an opponent? It's list matchups. And effectively, you go to
Actually,
somewhere
it's
like
just rolling well,
WTC.
usually.
Top
It's
rolls.
tough.
Tough rolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how many tough rolls you can roll.
How many?
But I remember when I first started playing the game, when I was playing Scorn, high def infantry was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bee's knees. Everybody
Yeah,
had
yeah,
it.
but Colossals
It was
probably-
Iron Flesh Chaos. It was the pinnacle of
Colossals
the
really
meta.
hurt that with all the big AOEs that were coming
They
out.
keep saying that. I don't think they did. People just moved away from it before that even happened.
No, it was.
Are people really looking at Conquest, and going, oh, I can't take my high def infantry span because of fucking Conquest?
Who cares about Conquest? It's Stormwall.
Even any of that stuff.
Anyway,
It's
also
specific.
not even.
I
it
remember
was-
the meta had already moved away from high def infantry before Colossus even
So
came.
we have got a small meta
yeah,
in
probably.
Australia, right? I
That's true.
And
It's because their development cycle was like 6 to 12 months behind the actual meta.
how do you mean? But yes.
Behind.
No.
The development cycle's behind.
That-
Because they might identify something now in the meta, and they've got to now design the models and
Oh, right. I see what
produce
you mean,
them and come out and marketing. So by the time the Colossus came out, high def had already gone. I just don't recall high def being a problem when Colossus first came out.
Truth be told,
If that was the reason.
playing Kador, found it was very rare there was a game where you actually literally just press button, receive bacon, put Kazi on the table, immediately win game. I can count
Iron Flesh.
the number of games where Iron Flesh Kazi actually literally just won the game, no contest, on like one hand, maybe two. But it was literally...
Seriously?
Yeah, because what
Felt the
happened was...
opposite for me.
Because what happened was, everyone else had put thought into this problem.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Some factions could deal with it, some couldn't. Scorn, before E-Hexy came out, before Mammoth came out, before Incendiary came out, we had obliteration with P-Hexy. That was fucking it.
Yeah, sell
we-
yourself short.
And
You're
slamming,
saying-
slamming models over the same
Yeah.
thing. What I'm saying is, that it used to be a problem for some factions. Other factions never really had a problem with it. I mean,
Well, look,
Crix was dominant in the
thought-
high def phase because of things like Bowl Thralls.
yeah, but I'll give a counter example. Like, there's a problem in Kador, it's a pretty big problem, it's fire. Continuous effect fire. I mean, let's like take like actual Jax, which, is heresy, or I take Assault Commandos. It's really hard to get solutions in Kador
See, I
to
think,
fire, and that is one of the things I have to consider. It's one of the reasons why I hate Fists, is because you just have
Because
rejects.
one game type
Can I
that you
say-
can't play.
Here it is. I think our meta was a bit skewed because we didn't have Menoff.
Did not.
No.
have
No one
this.
was playing Menoff. I mean,
No one in the straight payment.
right? And that brings back Crix. It brings back this high def skew with all the fire, right? And we had a big lacking in our... Even now, no one's using Menoff.
People
So-
buy Menoth armies and then just don't play them and
If we-
try and sell them.
if we had them,
it's like
that-
literally a 5 full
They
Menoth
would
armies
have
for
been
sale
keeping
on.
Crix in check, and they
Or
would have
Game
been keeping
Radio.
Legion in check as well before the Naga came out. We still didn't... If we had them... Would they have
Part of the
Legion?
problem when you have a 15th of the population of
Yeah.
America.
That's what we...
Like-
we
But
lacked.
Do you know what
You
you
actually-
can't or can't play? You can't play Man of War spam.
No,
Why
do
can't
it.
you play Man of War spam?
Because-
you must be the only faction that can't
You-
play the medium.
Yeah,
base
it's
spam.
honestly, if you look at it, it's actually just the game has marched on. Like if you look at the medium-based infantry that have come out since Man of Wars, like they just don't make the cut.
Can't wait for
But that's because things like your pikemen are just too good.
Well, that was the thing.
Well,
Pikemen were also
if pikemen were
Pikemen-
def 12 and didn't have a knockdown
Okay, well-
reach attack,
Pikemen were also basically on the downswing until they released models to fix that.
Yeah, it's not just the pikemen are too good. Men of War aren't that
Yeah.
good to start with.
Can't wait for in 18 months when everyone's running double bombardiers.
That'd be strong
thing is,
meta.
though-
Except you can't do that. You can't.
Just the meta.
That's
The minute,
alright.
the minute you stick your head out and start succeeding, you get hammered. Butcher. The Butcher came out, everybody's, oh my god.
people had met
All of
against
a-
Butcher before he even
All of a
actually
sudden
did
they can't use him
games.
because he gets, we're in Sydney, in Australia, he gets hammered.
Yeah,
Butcher can't survive.
I simply, personally, I do not drop Butcher in 2-list environments. I think he's amazing in 3-list tournaments because you have that uncertainty. I could drop this list to deal with your list, which is a good matchup. We'll play the game. We'll have tea afterwards. It'll be great. Or I'll drop Butcher. It's like,
The meta, it's a funny thing, the meta cycle. It's really, I have no idea where we'll be in 18 months.
yeah. Keep in mind one other thing. Butcher, you told me earlier, no one plays Butcher in Sydney because they've stopped playing
Butcher-
Kano.
Yeah, there were two
Sorry,
players.
they're two
Arian was
players.
using Arian's
Yeah, there's
Yeah, and Arian
to
doesn't
me.
play anymore.
He doesn't play, and I switched to Mercs.
And I never played
And what
Butcher
is
in the
that?
first place.
That's the meta cycle.
Yes.
So that's.
Well,
I mean,
as soon as
somebody
Butcher-
woke
as-
up on the wrong side of the
Butcher
bed.
came
Yeah.
out. Butcher came out. I
Exactly.
played one game against him.
But Geno
Absolutely
tried.
got smashed, and all I did was put Oregon.
Geno tried and you couldn't get him working. I mean,
I was up until I switched to Mercs. I was still using Butcher, and
Yeah.
I was still winning most of them.
Yeah.
Vaguely, some of the
But see,
times,
this
except-
whole
I can see, you know.
where meta, and I'll tell you what it comes down to in a lot of ways. Metas change. It's like a cycle. Some factions though have the depth that they can play different styles. So when the meta changes, they can compensate. And I think things like Crix and Legion, why they're so powerful and they're always at the top, is because they can play those different metas very, very successfully. Scorn had its great time for Fist of Halak is big at the moment because we're at that point in the meta where a whole bunch of spam medium based infantry is really, really great. But we're on that downward spiral now, and we're going to have to try and find something to actually replace that in that downward spiral.
I
Whereas
think-
Crix, you can just change a caster or two, or Legion, they've got such different. Like Legion, you've got E Lilith who can just play that range game just phenomenally, and you've got E Thags
Just-
who can out melee
Having
Scorn.
E Lilith completely changes the dynamic of your 20-player local meta. Completely changes it. There's one other thing. I think that these meta cycles are basically reactive or proactive. So, Fist comes out, you have to have an answer to Fist. You have to react to Fist. It is an active list shaping the meta, and people are reacting to that. It's not the other way around at
Fist
all.
/ P Gristle,
Yeah, that kind of
water
thing.
spam.
Yeah,
see,
sure.
Fist and water spam.
as a ret player, we've got answers to the waters, but the fists, I can't see any ret.
What's your answers to the
The Griffins, the Virus, the double Sentinels, Griffin, give them a big run for their money, right? Against you kill all those Sentinels comfortably. You know you do. You've done it before.
Sentinels or Griffins?
Sentinels, and then you kill the Griffins because the
Yeah,
Whip
but
Masters
you've got to remember, I killed the Sentinels because I was playing E-Hexy because I couldn't
Virus,
play Fist. You remember I black spotted them and charged Moloch out and
The Virus would be the best chance against the Fist of Halak list, but still, all those Weapon Masters and all the fire get rid of
Yeah.
infantry.
You know what? I couldn't play Fist because you'd have Virus. And your Virus is the best answer for
No,
Fist.
you still beat
so I
it.
might as well play E-Hexy.
It's a wave.
You know what I mean?
My
It's
point,
this-
it's,
it
my point
comes
is,
back
it's
to
a
the whole
wave.
cycle thing.
Here's Fist and here's Imorvana, and then, Virus, and some people are reacting to it, and now they're on the
Comes the Fist.
downswing, and
Yes.
and then butterflies.
Yeah.
Go and wash your hands.
I think also you've got to account for the fact that someday some people just decide, you know what, I got drunk the night before and then I ordered these models. I'm going to play something stupid. And when you've got a small meta, like, you just say, fuck it, I'm not going to play Virus.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Or
it's-
fuck it, I'm going to play Cassius just all day, every day.
It doesn't even like
Yeah, it's just-
a new theme list that comes out.
Yeah, I'm
Like
gonna,
Denny theme list, bam! Suddenly the meta has changed.
well,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Everybody now has to cater for
I don't
an
want to talk
Denny.
about this.
Oh, that
He
stupid
did
K
list.
list.
We,
Let's not
we
talk about
finally
it.
caught up the Cricks and they said, oh, we can't have this.
Yeah.
Well, it's back to an even game. They give him a DJing too.
That does seem like a bug.
They
Like,
got
just
they got
bug
Gorshade
report.
as well.
Yeah.
3 Gorshade.
Yep.
I like that Gorshade is making Crix players think outside the box.
I like it that the Cricks call it a Cricks bashing, bit of Cricks bashing.
Quick smashing.
It's trouble for them.
Deno, you
if
better
it
look
comes
away
back
now.
to an even game, it's actually trouble. Like, serious such a... Yeah, it's back to a 50-50 game. They're not used to being a 50-50 game. So it's a massive issue for them that it's actually a 50-50 game.
It's a fair fight.
Yeah.
They're not used to that. So
They
now
like a
that...
fair fight.
Yeah, they like a fair fight.
Why would they?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing,
It's a fair point.
nothing Cricks bashing.
so we're now 1.5 weeks out from list submission.
Yep, and I've got all our teams' lists actually. I collected them all.
That's 2 weeks. It's the 30th.
So 2
The
weeks.
next week's the
series,
last.
yeah.
We've got 2 tournaments next weekend, and our lists look really strong. I'm going back to the Virus, of course, Virus and Assyria, and most of us, the lists are pretty locked in.
Well, we'll put this video, because
1.5
obviously
weeks.
there's spies everywhere.
Yes.
But we're releasing this.
Probably on the weekend of the list submission. People aren't going to change the lists.
Just include a timestamp for the giant roundabout swings around about waves or something about
Encompassing
surfing.
waves.
Cycles
with,
and fists.
And fisting, yes.
Fisting waves.
So we've got 2 representatives of 2 teams here. We've got 4 people from Team Gold.
Concentrations.
Plus
Plus
Tracy
Tracy.
is fallen asleep. Oh, yeah, that's true.
God.
He running forward.
Yeah, Tracy was smashing noobs all day, so...
Don't horse.
Alright, fine.
And we got James Morehouse from
And we've got James Morehouse from the other Australian team.
Team Green or Team... What is it?
Team
Wombats?
Green.
Team Green.
Team Green.
Yeah, Wombats, and we're Platypus. What do you say?
Platypi.
Platypus.
No, I prefer the green and gold.
Yeah.
Australian
Green,
teams,
green
green and gold.
Yeah.
We're all set. We've got our wonderful Muson Minis tokens now.
Yeah, that was
Muson Minis and
Yeah.
Deno for organising those.
And mid.
That was
Drink
awesome.
Oh, that was
The
beautiful.
blast is great.
And
Blast.
we're all set to go. And geez, not long to go, guys.
Oh, God, don't tell me about it.
19th, 20th September, some of us heading off.
I'm hitting on the 18th.
30 to 40 days till we're all off.
Yeah.
Out of here. So that's pretty exciting. Can't wait.
See you guys in
So
Krakow,
basically,
man. Holy crap.
we've got this Facebook chat, and it's literally all day. Our productivity at work must have just went down like
Yeah.
Azure
Yeah.
and Labour, and we've just talking continually all day and all night.
Mind you, the productive talk in that chat.
Yesterday was 0.
The productive
It's
talk
quite
in that
small.
chat sounds like it's still about 20 times the amount.
Yesterday they just turned to me like a pack of wolves, and it was relentless.
To be fair,
Plus
that
the
was
grade,
entirely
50,000.
your...
Still there.
Jeff has typing dyslexia. So
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I press,
That's
enter, I press enter, then go, oh, that's too late now.
Yeah.
excellent. All right.
So
Well,
what
thanks. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
See you in
So tonight we're having a bit of a jazz concert, so
Yeah.
Well, we might even tack a bit of that onto the after credits. Bit of a jazz concert.
Sure, why not?
I need to
Jeff and Horse.
I'm Jeff.
And that's
see ya in the Shizuk.
Shizurk?
Shizurk.
How do you say it, really?
Shizurk.
Shizurk.
SZ is sh. CZ is chiz. YRK is irk. Chizurk.
Shizuru.
So,
But
Zerk,
But
so see
definitely
you
won't make
guys
fun
in
of us if we say
Zerka.
that.
Or we'll see you in Krakow.
Kraklov.
You have to do it like you're clearing your throat. Krakow.
Horse out.
Yeah, thanks, Hoss.
No, you gotta all say it.
Oh, ready? And we are. Damn, it's right. And we are. That's
Fuck
right.
this shit.
I'm 1, 2, 3. And we are.
Yeah,
So thanks from your hosts,
Evan?
David, Potsy,
Horse.
Jeff,
And Loud Chris.
and we are
Yeah.
Team Australia.
the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't recording.
Oh.
All right, now talk.
Hi, this is Jeff Galea from Moops' house in sunny ACT. It's about -5 degrees.